Hello, what's up, Guru Nation? Welcome into a brand new Guru Nation podcast discussing a 2024 Dynasty Startup Draft. Really excited to get into this with y'all with some good homies here. The Gen Wealth Dynasty League. Really excited to recap it here. And for those new to Dynasty or for those looking to watch, seeing like, well, how do these Dynasty Startup Drafts go? How can I maximize value with these things? And one way you can is through trades during the draft. Yes, during the draft trades are very common in these dynasty startups, especially in slow drafts. Fast drafts don't really have draft pick trading, but slow drafts, oh, it's happening. It's happening constantly. And in this one right here, with myself and 11 other fellow fantasy football savages, we have done a ton of trading. Not myself personally. I have been happy with what's fallen to me in this dynasty startup, so I haven't really messed with trades too much. I had a few offers out there that almost took, but couldn't quite come to an agreement with them. But, we've got plenty to recap here. We're going to start off by recapping all of the trades that have gone down. I believe it's like 10 trades, just a crazy amount of trades here to break down. And then we're going to pull up the board and bring in Bogard Scott free, and him and myself are going to recap this draft. Let's shout out the chat before we really get rolling. I'm guessing that Steamboat here saying Xavier Worthy, give me money. He's the one that drafted Xavier Worthy. What up, Lee? Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to Lee, holding it down for the Chargers. Big Chargers fan Lee is. And Derek in the house. What up, Derek? Salute to Derek. Almost had a deal done with Derek. Ended up getting cold feet, but looking back on it, maybe should have done it, but we'll talk more about that when we get in the heat of this thing. Guccini JD, what's happening, man? Shout out to JD, the fella from the Heart to Start podcast, one of the best fantasy football podcasts out there. Go check it out. Go show the fella some love. They do the thing every weekend morning, the OJ. So yeah, the OJ show. And so go check it out. Shout out to JD, man. And zero trades over here. Yeah, I feel that, bro. Yeah, zero trades, man. Yeah, I haven't done any either. I've liked what's fallen to me. We're picking pretty similar in the draft. I picked in third, and JD was picking fourth. So yeah, we're gonna pull up that board here in just a sec. Just wanted to shout everybody out that is in the building. All right, let's do this thing, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna dive right in and recap this startup, but let's do the trades first, because I know that's probably what a lot of y'all are wondering. Well, what are all these trades? How are all these trades happening? So we'll start it off by going over the very first trade that went down that kind of sparked this whole thing up, which was Bogey and Smoking Jay. Shout out to Fantasy Fornicator, Bears, Brews, and the Bros, one of our savages in this thing. And yeah, here it is. The very first trade that went down. Smoking Jay, Smokey gave up his 2024 second, 2024 third, and 2024 fifth, and got back a first. So he was able to get 2 first-round picks, the 8 and the 9. He had, I believe, pick 9. Or no, he had pick 8. Bogey had pick 9. So he was able to get the 9th overall pick and was able to also acquire a 4th and a 12th, where he really had to pay, was going down from the 5th to the 12th, moved down 7 rounds there. So that was kind of a hefty price to pay, but he did get 2 firsts and went back-to-back quarterbacks there, as we'll see here in a minute. So I feel like that was a win-win trade for both sides. Bogey getting to move up a lot and was able to take advantage as a stacked wide receiver room. And this trade helped play a part in that roster building. And this was the craziest of them all here. Steamboat and Kidda. Shout out to Steamboat and Kidda. Steamboat traded away the very first pick of the draft. And yeah, I feel you, JD. Yeah, we'll have to cook something up here in the second half, because yeah, we're not even halfway through though. We're just 10 rounds in, just getting in around 11. But we definitely have a lot to talk about here with all the savages in this league. But anyway, yeah, Kidda acquired the first overall pick, because Steamboat had first overall, gave up the 7th overall pick. He had the 7th, moved up 6 spots there, and gave up a whole bunch of other stuff. A lot of future picks involved there. Hard to break all that down exactly. Can't really evaluate this trade until the next year or two, because a lot of these picks won't even be on their teams until then. So we won't really judge too much on this deal, but just it was very shocking though to see the first overall pick get dealt. But Steamboat was able to get a lot of future assets there. And then they had a few things to clean up. I believe someone had accepted prematurely, but they, like the gentlemen they are, were able to work it out. You know, we're savages here, but yet gentlemen, you know, if someone, you know, felt like something was wrong in the trade, you know, we'll amend it and try to fix it. But I mean, yeah, don't get trigger happy though, because if I send out a trade and it gets accepted, well, I'll be like, hey, you accepted it, bud. But anyway, we'll that looked like a win-win there. Kiddo's able to get Josh Allen, Steamboat able to get some other extra picks to cushion it. But next trade here was Dennis and Candlestick. Candlestick was able to acquire a bunch of future picks here, a first and a second for the future. And then Dennis was able to move up to the second round, an early second round pick. Candlestick moved back a little bit. So to the third round. So might have just stung a little bit for this year, but got a lot for the future. So as we'll see here with a lot of these trades, Candlestick is thinking ahead. He is definitely someone that plans to stay in this league for the long run, as evidenced by his trades. And then Kiddo was able to, in my opinion, strike a really good deal here. Got the fourth and the seventh from Dennis. Dennis really wanting to move up there in the fourth to acquire a running back. And I feel like Kiddo was able to get a good deal there with that one. Just my opinion, not calling you out, Dennis. I know you're a savage, man, but that's just my take on that one. But anyway, Sweetness and Fornicator here. I feel like Sweetness may have come out a little bit ahead in this one because they swapped basically fourth, fifth, seventh, eighth. And to me, if you're going to swap fourth, fifth, you would probably be more like 7, 9. But Sweetness was able to still get an eighth out of that. So Sweetness did pretty good there in that trade. But overall, pretty balanced deal. And then Kidda and Bogey mortgaging the future here, giving up a bunch of 2025 early picks. And then Kidda giving up, which ended up being DK Metcalf. So Bogey better hope DK Metcalf really has that big career arc like we're thinking he will. And then a few more here before we get to the board. Bogey acquires 6th, 8th, and 11th. Dennis acquires 6th, 10th, and 11th. So Dennis wanting to move up there in the 6th and then move back a little bit from the 8th to the 10th and then swapped 11th rounders there. So pretty balanced deal. I'd say that seemed pretty fair for both sides. And then Smoking Jay acquires an 11th and a 13th. Dennis gave up those two, and then he acquired the 10th from Smoking Jay. So again, Dennis wanting to move up, buy back in, and did so right here. But I mean, 13th round pick could be valuable. So just throwing picks around like that can be dangerous. But Dennis, if he has a good eye for talent, it could pay off. And then Candlestick, these next two trades involving Candlestick acquiring future picks, 2025 third. Tino, shout out to Tino. He got 2024 10th. I feel like that was a really good deal for Tino. Not that 2025 thirds is not worth anything, but it's just I would have thought that would have been more like a 15th rounder. So I feel like Tino won that deal, but again, we'll have to see what the future holds. And then another trade involving future picks, Dennis moving up around and also gives up a 2025 second with that. So that's it for the trades. Let's move on to the board here, y'all. Let's bring in Bogey, y'all. Let's bring in Bogey. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know him. The earth is his turf. Bogard Scott free.
Hey, you're too kind. You're too kind. The earth is all our turf.
Right.
As we all stand upon this turf we call Earth, smashing thousands of miles an hour through space.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited to get into what you mean. You know, I was like, if Bogey comes on, it's a party, man. We're getting ready to kick it and recap this draft, man. Because I'm really excited to get your thoughts, big bro.
Yeah, man. I like the, you know me, I like action.
And yeah, there was a lot of action I had to recap there. That'd be 5 minutes. That ended up almost 10 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now that they have the context, right? Let's see how this first 10 rounds transpired so far. While we're actively in round 11.
Right on. Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing pulled up here.
Oh, yeah, and for everybody in the league that's watching, and also for us too.
All right, here it is, y'all.
We'll go ahead and not say players that haven't been drafted yet. Let's keep it OG. Let's keep it to the code.
Yes, in honor of Steamboat, because he's saying names.
Even though Steamboat's like Josh Allen on the block, but you ain't got Josh Allen yet.
Right? And he didn't end up with him. As we see here, Kidda getting that 101 acquiring Josh Allen here. So a crazy start, because then Tino shocked the world. I was picking at 3 there. I thought for sure I was going to have to decide between Hurts and Stroud. I was leaning Hurts there, actually, but then Mahomes falls in my lap. So I had to go Patty Mahomes, bro, because Tino went with CD Lamb there. Not a bad pick, but just in this setting, which is, by the way, for those new to this is a QB premium super flex league, 2-point PPR for receivers and running backs, 2.5 for tight ends, and also IDP, which is individual defensive players, linebackers, defensive backs, defensive linemen, which we had our first IDP there in round 8, I believe that was. So, yeah, a few twists to this league, but still very fun, very in-depth. So, yeah, we're going to break it all down right here, right now. So, yeah, Patty Mahomes fell in my lap there. I felt like I had to go with it.
Yeah, and like, I mean, let's not pretend that like we haven't seen him be two-time MVP in the regular season already, which is Peyton Manning-esque, right? As far as because remember Peyton Manning for the longest king of the regular season, right? And like we saw a down year, quote unquote, for Mahomes at least last year, solely based on the fact, in my opinion, is that defense was so good. That run game was working, and Kelsey was playing hurt all year long. So it was a real uphill battle for them, so to speak. But man, we just saw other facets of that team become their identity. Like that was never their identity before, to be a defensive team like that. And I tend to think there's positive regression here, returns to the mean, right? When it comes to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, let's not forget he was like just a year removed from being throwing 5,000 wow and throwing for 40 tugs or whatever. That was a couple years ago. You know
That's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, he could easily get back to that, especially now they reinforced the receiving core, brought in Hollywood Brown, a nice upgrade over MVS, brought in Xavier Worthy, the blazing fast rookie, bro. They're trying to bring speed in there to try to bring back that element of taking the top off the defense, because Kelsey isn't getting any younger, so they're going to need more of that downfield stuff. And Patrick Mahomes is in the prime of his career, bro.
And
prime of his career.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, like I said, he hyperextended the knee to start the year, and then he just battled through that injury. And when they had that bye week, when they locked in that number 1 seed, they didn't have to play week 18. Then they had the bye week, so he had 2 weeks off, and then through the playoffs, they look like them. You know what I mean? Because he came back healthy. You feel me? So
right,
we got healthy Kelsey to start the year. Fingers crossed. So you know what I mean? I hate them. How about that? All right. I hate them.
Yeah, I don't like them, but it's just, I mean, I gotta go with the best player available. So my heart was wanting to go CJ Stroud, bro. I mean, CJ Stroud, he gives me the vibe of like a people's champ. Same with Joe Burrow, bro, because they're playing on franchises that have never won the big one before. So your natural instinct is to want to root for those guys. So would have been kind of nice to have gotten one of them, but at pick 3, I felt like I had to go Mahomes. But JD wasn't playing. He went and snatched up Stroud at 4. Oh, we just had a pick live. Shout out to Smoking Jay. Just took TJ Edwards, one of his Bears IDP. So we also going to have some live action. Yeah, we'll have some live action here too on this Dynasty Startup Draft recap here on the Guru Nation podcast. So, yeah, and then a bunch more quarterbacks went in the first. Jalen Hurts, Steamboat, he got Lamar, and then Fornicator got back-to-back Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson. So, moving up to that 9 spot, ended up going back-to-back QBs. Yeah, so many scenarios.
Exactly. You don't have to be a sort of a robot to the way the ADPs are, and you know what I mean. You can mix and match and move around and kind of, wheel and deal. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, continue.
Yeah, you can really customize it as we saw there. And then with all the draft pick trades, that's all I wanted to break it all down because there were a lot of people used to just the standard 12-team PPR redraft where you're just kind of locked in. And if you stray too much from the mean, you're probably going to end up with a team you don't like. But with this, I mean, you can go in all kind of different directions and you probably come away feeling like, yeah, my team's pretty damn good because it's like everyone has a chance to acquire talent because the way the scoring format is, every position has value. I mean, the running backs, even like, I waited on running back, but yeah, it's pretty dope. Then Justin Jefferson went finally cutting off the quarterbacks and Justin Herbert, though. So he had 9 of the first 12 picks were QBs. And then Amon-Ra Chase, Dennis ripped them off and then bought back in there and got Jordan Love. So he was able to get a QB as well.
Yeah, that was from that trade he made right there. Good shit.
Yeah, with Candlestick.
If you ain't heavy, if you ain't top, you better be top heavy than not heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah, definitely top heavy there. And he's been buying back in Dennis, that is. I didn't mean to rag on him earlier. And you need a punter. Yep. That's the only thing we don't have in here, special teams. But anyway, yeah, Dennis, though, it's like
I will not be voting for that in the next year's league meeting.
I feel that because I'm just like, yeah, I mean, we got too much other stuff. So anyway, yeah, CMC, though, this was a wild pick, in my opinion. Shout out to Sweetness for being bold for this. But CMC, first running back off the board. And then as y'all can see here, the way it goes, it was a 3rd-round reversal. There was not another running back selected until the 3-6 when Bogey selected Bijan.
I like it. I mean, and see, when
we could do head coach. I've heard of leagues with head coach. He obviously does that one all the positions.
Like before I made the trade, and which is like which was these are called bogey things, right? For those that don't know, I got immediately to doing bogey things before that draft started. We went ahead and made a blind trade, me and Fornicator, and I think it worked out well for us in this first 10 rounds for what it's worth. Right, because hindsight's 2020, but because I figured, okay, if I could move back and build some other earlier assets, I still think I'm a shoe-in for a QB, the best one I like at that point, and Puka, and Puka was there, and the Brock was there, which was the dream scenario. So I was able to snatch them off. When I came back here, the QBs were flying so much, I started to get the little. You know what I mean? Like when you start like shit, man, she ain't finna come through, bro. I think she's gonna flake on me. Like, you know what I mean? I start like shit. You know what? I gotta make a call. I gotta call the Surefire. And then but see, here's the thing: the Surefire, she, you know what I mean? She might, she's a little older, and she might be coming off a little, she might be on a little rebound right now. In this case, Kirk Cousins coming off that goddamn Achilles. So I pull him up just to make me feel good about it, though. Like someone old, reliable. Like, all right. But then now the fact that here's where the mindset I get in, because now the fact that I got that type of QB who's a little older and like coming off this injury, it makes me feel I got to lock in for a 3rd. You know what I mean? And then I regret that.
Oh, another live pick, Geno Smith.
Okay,
Geno Smith off the board. The Fornicator.
Nice. He got him a 3rd QB right there. Okay.
Yeah, he hadn't taken a QB since Anthony Richardson in the 1st, so he finally got him another one.
Can I say value? You know what I mean? And how about this too? So the force was telling me I should just, because now that market, the running backs, the only one I got took was CMC.
Another live pick, Romeo Dobbs off the board. I know that's one of your guys, Bogey. Wow.
Yeah, I had to kiss him goodbye because he went. I'm blanked out of this round entirely. So.
Yeah, you would have had to take him earlier. Yeah, you got my boy Nick Bolton there. I was like, damn it, I wanted to get a big dog LB, but I might pick tonight the way this thing's going. Shit, I didn't think I'd be picking again tonight. But Derek's in here. His green dots on Kidda got Dobbs. But yeah, Derek's in here. I think Lee's in here. So Lee might pick, and then Guccini's here. I mean, shoot, it might get back to me.
And you nailed it too, because remember, I was like, I think I'm about to do some bogey things and pull up Dobbs pretty soon here. And you're like, I think he's like an 11th round guy. Boom, nailed it.
Yep. I've been doing these. I've been looking at keep, trade, cut a lot. Shout out to Stevie B for putting us on to that stuff.
Yep, and then
Yeah, Stevie B, man, if y'all aren't following Dynasty Life Fantasy, bro, on YouTube, go do that stuff. Because, man, Stevie B is a lifesaver. Like, I was like, damn, I haven't done a Dynasty startup yet this year. I feel behind, but I watched Stevie B's Superflex Dynasty startup mock, and I felt like I was caught up. I
Nice.
mean, it was so informative, man.
Real action than look at ADPs half the time too.
No, exactly. I mean, it's good to do both, but yeah, with freaking Stevie B, it's like that's real, and it was all real people and everything. Like, so
it's funny too. If Kid is out there, he'll vouch for this too, because he was one of the ones. He was like, you're tripping if you ain't thinking about grabbing that Brees Bijan pack right there. And I was like, oh, because the running backs they shouldn't have fell that far. And like, so I had to take at least one to make myself feel okay with myself.
Hell yeah. Yeah. And then, no, you did your thing there, honestly, because you wanted to get that second QB. So, I mean, I personally would have probably gone
skill.
With you could have gotten Neighbors or Olave right there, and I ended up Olave, but that's just my preference, So
at one point, the combo right there would have been Olave and Ayuk, and then I talked myself out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have probably gone. That would have been a little reckless, I feel like. But I mean, you did your thing with Bijan, and then because with the way Watson fell, I don't know if Kirk would have fallen that far, but I mean, shoot, Watson. Oh, they took Tajay Spears. Damn it, Derek. That's who I was eyeing as a third running back, man. Oh, damn it, Derek. Damn it. That was a good pick. I feel like Tajay Spears was getting slept on, bro.
As it stands right now, I think there's
that was a hell of a pick by Derek.
3 running backs right now, huh? I don't think.
Yeah, I think everyone's getting their third. There's been a huge running back run. Yeah. And I mean, and there goes, Zaire Franklin. Damn, they're sniping my whole queue.
They going.
And Jalen Warren. Oh my God, they're taking all the players I had my eye on. Damn, y'all are some savages. What can I say? Damn, bro. That's crazy. They're literally reading my queue.
It'd be like that.
Them boys wildin', bro.
Welcome to the well-known Q curse.
No, exactly.
Now you know.
No, exactly. Yeah, you can't get too comfortable with them damn Qs because you think, I'll wait, I'll get this player, and then boom, they're snatched off.
After the first 5-6 rounds, though, I do start queuing up just because I'll forget motherfuckers was there. I'll see, I won't remember them until I see someone draft. I'm like, oh shit, he was there. Eat that shit.
Right. Yeah, let me see here. I might go a little different here. Well, shoot, I might have to pick here soon, but we'll once I make my pick here, we'll go with it. So Bogey, as we go, I mean the fourth. Any surprises in the 4th, 5th round? I mean, a lot of running backs, receivers there. I mean, nothing too shocking. I don't feel but I mean, the who was Dalton Kincaid was a little bold there in the 5th, and then you took Bo Nix.
I'm an instrument of chaos, and I figured the running backs have fell too long. This is going to set off the little run, and I think we had 8 or 9 running backs go off within the next couple rounds. So it definitely woke people's game up, and I think everyone caught on real quick that this year so much talent at receiver, and the running back isn't as deep as it is on paper. So you know what I mean. Because normally I'm the guy who's I might be getting my second running back at this point. You know what I mean? Normally I'm just stacking all receivers. I'm just fuck it, it's dynasty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I'm not even really sweating the RBs. I mean, it'd be nice to get somebody here, but I might just go IDP right here, honestly, because I mean they've got some pretty good ones here. A linebacker would be nice, but man, they got the no DBs have gone yet, so. Kind of tempting to maybe rip off a DB right here.
I mean, as an advisor and lawyer, I'm always just gonna suggest linebacker. There's so many DBs too. That's another one too. Is and I learned this the hard way because last year I was just always grabbing I'm not gonna say any names, like I said, but because I was chasing the following finishers versus finding the value guys because those guys didn't finish the same way they did the year prior. You know what I mean? And my value guys are actually the ones that jumped up and finished in the top 5. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, this is tough, bro. There's so many good, just You know, when you get to this point, it's like there's just so many like intriguing options that it's like kind of hard to narrow it down because you can go in so many different directions.
Like how are you going to start shaping your team out here? Because theoretically, we have 19 starters, so the first 20 rounds, 25 rounds is basically your starting roster. You know what I mean?
Facts, yeah. So it's kind of tough to kind of just like try to narrow it down here because there's just so many like potential studs that you just like, man, I could get these guys and I'd be set, but then it's just, man, yeah, I'm just gonna make a decision here soon. There's a lot of
take your time, bro. Take your time.
A lot of pretty good ones here because I want to get the show rolling. Since we've got a lot of people in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat here watching and everyone that tune in later. So yeah, this is one of those things to where, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the linebacker here because I feel like there's about to be pretty big run on IDPs and especially linebackers. So I think I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I got a trade offer. So let me hold off on that from Steamboat. Let me see here. I'm probably just going to pick, but if he offered me something too good to pass on. Oh, no. Come on, Steamboat. Come correct, bro. That offer sucks.
The live reaction.
That shit sucks. Sorry, bro. Hate to be mean, but that ain't it, bro. So with that being said, I'm not even gonna read it on air because it's it was not I already declined it. So let me go ahead and select. He's a young linebacker who's just starting to come into his own, bro. Ernest Jones. Give me Ernest Jones right here, bro.
I love it. I mean,
Ernest Jones.
I remember the reason I have a bunch of Ernest Jones in these dynasties.
Oh, and there goes Aiden Hutchinson.
Nice. That was nice too. But I really love that Ernest Jones pick. I mean, he's only been up and up. What happened to him is his rookie year, he tore his shit, bro. He tore his ACL. And I want to say,
yeah, he's back healthy now. He's a savage.
He tore his ACL picking the ball off too. Like he picked the ball and then he was just down. And they're
damn, he went out making a play. He's a playmaker, bro. Yeah, third round draft pick. Yep.
And that's the thing with the Rams is like you always got to pay attention to the Rams' third round draft picks and fourth round for real because they never had first and seconds in majority of this was actually the first round picks they've had, first and second round picks they've had in the Sean McVay era.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I really like with this Ernest Jones, he gets sacks, bro. He had 2 sacks in the playoff game against Detroit, so he's more than just a tackler. He even gets sacks too.
And he's
this motherfucker is a savage. And he had 2 picks his rookie year. Yeah, I'm glad I got this dude, man.
He's in
damn, Steamboat says reach. I wonder what Steamboat was eyeing. Nah, he probably think you. I bet you'd have took him. I bet Steamboat would have took him.
I like my man. I call him Ernest Scare Stupid Jones.
Yeah, bro. I mean, he's a young linebacker. That's like, I mean, shit. I don't feel like that was at all reach, but
their star linebacker.
I mean, exactly. So we'll see. Be interesting to see what Steamboat goes with here. He's got back-to-backs. So yeah, we shall see. But anyway, yeah, I think the Ernest pick should work. But yeah, if we see it, let's do it team by team here. Let's go team by team. I know Steamboat's about to pick, so we'll give him some time here before he gets to his team. Let's go. And then Dennis already said shout out to Dennis for getting in here. And grade my team if you want. I mean, yeah, we're not gonna grade the team because no grades because the draft's very far from being complete. We're just gonna give our thoughts, and I mean, there's sweetness in here, and no advice, please.
Yeah,
hey, man, we're just here bullshitting, man, and we're gonna break down the team builds for sure, kiddo. So yeah, let's do that here. We'll start off with the Ginger Ninja, Dennis here at pick 12. And man, look at all over the place his team is with all the trades. My goodness. So he
on the team, right?
So he started off with Amon-Ra, Chase, and J Love, then didn't pick again until ETN, who he made the big trade up for with Kidda. Then he got DJ Moore, that was one of his original picks. Then he traded up again for Will Levis, wanted that second QB. And then he didn't pick again until like over 2 rounds later and got 3 rounds later. Yeah, wow. And then got a TJ Watt and Terrell Bernard, back-to-back IDPs, really good IDPs there. So that was good. Tony Pollard and B-Rob, the mob there. So pretty good second and third running backs. Not necessarily my cup of tea, those two, but they could be good. I mean, they're both kind of early down, bigger backs, so they could maybe work out. And then Derek Carr as a third QB. Carr, he's not sexy, he's not flashy, he's not a runner, but as a third, I don't mind it. Just as a Saints fan, I'm not the biggest Carr fan, but he's a third QB, so I mean, you can't expect your third QB to be a stud. So yeah, so overall, I feel like Dennis is off to a decent start. I really like the top heavy thing. I mean, Amon-Ra Chase and J Love. I was like, wow, Dennis. We got to watch out for Dennis, bro. He's coming, bro. That start. Holy crap. But then he didn't get to pick again for a while, giving up all those future picks. So we'll see how it ends up. But I kind of like the start here. It might be a tad weak at some of the skills stuff like the flexes, but you can't be strong everywhere. And then second QB, so super flex a little weak, but very top heavy. So not a bad start there. Got several elite assets that if he needed to trade off one of these, and he could acquire a bunch of depth. But we'll see how he does in the later rounds. The later rounds are really the key if you want that good depth. So that's really the key. We'll see if Dennis can get that depth going there. So let's move on now to Candlestick. We'll get Bogey give his thoughts when he gets back. Candlestick here, he's given up a lot to get these future picks. He's got a very young team here. He'd start off with Herbert, T-Law, and then has Penix as his third QB. Very youthful team. The only veterans really he has are Scary Terry and T. Higgins. And also has Garrett Wilson, a very strong one, and then Devon A-Chain and Jonathan Brooks. That's a nice backfield duo there. I like that. We'll see. I mean, it's a very, very interesting build in that he's pretty much there, and I'm wanting to worry about the future, which some people are disciplined like that. I mean, it's kind of like Stevie B's approach, wait for your guys. So, I mean, wait, and then a year or two, you'll really be strong. So Candlestick, his team's probably going to be scary within the next year or two, but for this year, might not contend. But if he nails those later rounds, you never know, because we still got a lot of draft to get through. Next up is Sweetness. He said, don't no advice. Well, I'm just going to give my analysis. Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, Keenan, Troy Franklin. That's an interesting pick there at the 11-3. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not a big fan of the Sean Payton offense personally, but if it does pan out, then Troy Franklin could have value there. Kyle Pitts, not a big fan of Kyle Pitts. Y'all already know how I feel about Kyle Pitts. He's been a bust his whole career, but maybe he'll bust out now that he's got Kirk Cousins throwing the rock to him, but I wouldn't bet on it. Then the King Henry and CMC and James Conner are a very old backfield, not what I usually like to do in Dynasty, but McCaffrey should have another 2 or 3 years left, and if Sweetness would find himself out of contention this year, he's got a lot of veteran assets he could trade to contenders, but the hope for him is that he'll be in contention, but his QB situation could be a little hindering as far as that, because he's got Goff, who's a good veteran, but Drake May as his second could hinder him a little bit, especially if May gets beaten out by Jacoby Brissett.
I mean, I don't think he won't just beat him out, but he's going to get the first crack at it, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
For sure. And it might just be, I mean, May is obviously the future, but it might be a thing to where if the beef brisket starts and they go, let's just say 3-2 early, they might stick with him for the first half of the season. But if they start off like 0-5, then yeah, I'm sure they'll turn to May pretty quick.
And a lot of times until they crack the seal on them motherfuckers, like you don't realize, like, oh, he's dumb. Like sometimes, like, you know what I mean? You bring that motherfucker in, they got all the training because they've been working to get to the NFL. And when I say training, like how to answer questions and get on the board and break down the plays, all this shit. They got all that. But then you get them in there, you start showing them an NFL playbook and you find out they're dumb. You know what I mean? That's usually how long it takes, right?
Yeah, because Drake May is a guy, he's a prodigy, big arm and all that, but it might take him a little while to learn the complexities of an NFL offense.
And I think, like, when it comes to rookie QBs and the first round guys, but this is usually like when you're a top 3 guy, a top 3 pick overall. Those guys, they've never sat more than 5 weeks, right? The mid round guys, yeah, we've seen them sit for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. But yeah, we'll see though. Yeah, Drake May show. Oh, I think we have some action from Steamboat. Okay, Ricky Pearsall. Okay, I was wondering when Ricky Pearsall was gonna go. Freaky Ricky Pearsall. I feel like that's a good pick there. That's a good pick. Yeah,
especially with like, you know what I mean, like with the all the rumors with the Steelers, you know what I mean, talking about they want to trade for one of Ayuk or Debo. To me, it would be Debo, because look at everything the Niners have done in this past week. We extended CMC, and right before that we extended Jawan Jennings. And so if there is a trade, it would be Debo, because then he has a bag on him. Then we'd give a bag to fucking Ayuk. That's
right. Yeah, that's why I was leery about Debo. I could have had him this morning in like the 8th, but I was like, nah, I'm not messing with Debo, bro. He's too injury prone.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like,
yeah, he went a dumbass late. He went at a very good value. Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, let's I'm gonna go grab another brewski, and I'll let you take it away as far as your squad.
All right, so right out the gate, popped it off with the back-to-back, the Brock and Pook. And then I came back around with Cuzzos and fucking Bijan. And then I came back again with the third QB action to pop it off with the young Bo Nix, you know what I'm saying? AKA Bogey Nix, right? Then we went and we continued the running back thing. You know what I'm saying? My man Isaiah Pacheco, you know what I'm saying? Straight Patterson stand up. You know what I mean? He runs with a thing on him, keeps a stick. You feel me? And then, you know what I'm saying? This is where we start doing bogey things. You know what I mean? Because right there, I really wanted to take DK and Bo Nix, and I'm on record for being like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Then I changed my mind, and then immediately my man Kidda takes DK. So then I get to something working, and I ended up purchasing a DK for a future first and second and a third. You know what I'm saying? Boom, swing back around. You know what I mean? And now this is where I make another trade, and I trade back a little bit, but then I do a back-to-back rookies right there, and I go with the young lad. You feel me?
Yeah, lad McConkey.
The young laddie.
The young laddie McConkey.
Yes. And then we went ahead and got the Coleman. And man, to me, those are both reaches right there by definition. But like I felt like there was this pending rookie run, and like, you know, to start that round off, we saw Xavier Worthy go. Shout out to my man Steamboat. Then it picked back up with closing the round with Jonathan Brooks, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And here's one thing I want to tell people: like, I don't just there's a method to my madness. If I'm trading away some early picks, that means next year I don't have those early picks. So I wanted to make sure somewhere along this way I'm securing some young guys that can help me now and for the future. So like, if the young lad and Coleman don't go ahead and help me out this year, I could be confident that they're sophomores and they'll still give me a shot here. You know what I mean? Versus like, I get some old guys and I have 0 picks in the future, and I'm like, all right, old guys, try not to get older on me. You know what I mean?
And you know they will. I mean, he's no reverse. You just got to hope there.
Grandfather time.
You get if you get Mike Evans and Devontae Adams, but I mean that's the exception, not the norm. So
you know what I mean?
Oh, what to do here? I'm back on the clock actually. So yeah, that was the bogey team. You know, very strong start.
And then I got
go ahead.
I went ahead and got Roquan and then Najee. Before that, I got Rashee Rice in the 8th round because I was clustered up right here. So I went Rashee Rice, Roquan, Najee, and then Nick Bolton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. The only thing, Najee is a third RB. It's not bad, you know.
Brian Robinson got drafted.
Yeah, I think honestly, I gotta go. Yeah, I probably gotta go with a third RB because I think these RBs are just getting sniped here. This is kind of the time for them. So I'm gonna go with Zach Moss right here, bro.
Nasty.
I'm going to go with Zach Moss. He's a new primary back for the Bengals. They fucking gave him a pretty nice bag. 2 years, $8 million. I mean, nothing fancy, but I mean, that's enough to be. He's going to be their starter. And like, bro, they feed a running back, man. Just look at Sir Joe Mix-a-Lot, Joe Mix, and they feed running backs over there. So give me Zach Moss. Got him here in just did it live here in the 12th round. So got him, DeAndre Swifty and Zamir White. So not the best backfield, but I feel like it's a backfield that's pretty solid, even despite waiting.
It's the little backfield that could.
No, exactly. And that's all you need. I mean, I got the fucking big dog, bro. I mean, I got Marv Jr., Olave, and Waddle, bro, as my receiving trio. So I just need the running backs to just be something. Just need them to play. I mean, because the big three receivers, they'll do the heavy lifting. But anyway, let's move on now to, let's see, Smoking Jay. Shout out to Smoking Jay here. He went with the back-to-back QBs and went Ayuk and Adunze. He didn't have any picks in the second or third, but that's the price you pay if you want back-to-back quarterbacks. And then he got Ayuk and Adunze, Ken Walker, James Cook, solid running back duo. Then Brock Bowers, Trey Benson, couple of strong rookies there. Then Geno is a third QB, not bad. And then TJ Edwards. He's kind of playing it risky with the receivers, hoping he can find value there because only has 2 receivers. You got to start 3 at the minimum, plus the 3, flex spots. But he's already got 2 of those flex spots filled with Bowers and Benson. Got an IDP there with TJ Edwards, a solid third QB there with Geno. So not bad. I mean, if Caleb and Richardson pan out, I mean, he'll be carried by those 2 for sure. It's just, outside of those 2, it's like, what does he really have that's going to put him over the top? Possibly Bowers. Bowers could pan out. I mean, Trey Benson could potentially be really good there for the Cardinals, especially if James Conner gets hurt. So he's got potential for sure. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of trading up there, but, he got 2 studs. So we'll see if Caleb and A-Rich can be top 5 QBs. If that's the case, I mean, if you get 2 top 5 QBs in a QB premium format, then you're pretty much guaranteed to make the playoffs. So we'll see how it goes, but, pretty solid start for Fornicator, all things considered. Let's move on now to Kidda. Kidda at pick 7. Well, he moved up to pick 1. Got Josh Allen as well as Nico Collins there at the 312, and then A.J. Brown was the first of his original picks. They made more trades, traded back there. Got Josh Jacobs, and then didn't pick again until the 6th. Got Baker Mayfield as his second QB. So his start of kind of slow as far as numbers go, but, as far as talent, it's pretty nice because he just kept stacking talent here in these, I'd say mid-rounds, but for this is all early rounds. Got Kamara after Baker, then JSN, Debo, Amari Cooper, who I almost traded up for. I really wanted. When you offered that 9-4 on the block, Boogie, I almost took it for Amari Cooper. Oh, I thought Boogie was back. My bad. When Boogie gets back, I'll have to tell him that. The JSN, Debo, Amari Cooper, very good group of receivers there. I had all of them on my queue. And Ramondre Stevenson, a very strong third running back, and Romeo Dobbs, a solid depth receiver there. Definitely filling out his receiver depth quite well there. Has 5 receivers so far. I've got 4. I could wait, does he have 5? No, he's got 6. He's got 6. Damn, I need to up my receiver depth, but I wanted on the IDP action here. I got Crosby and Ernest Jones. Wanted to get some IDP on Kidda, kind of sacrificing the IDP for WR depth, but I feel like there's still plenty of receivers. I'm not really tripping about that. Let's move on now to Derek. Derek hadn't made any trades. I almost had a deal with him to get Jameer Gibbs because the way this deal fell, Jameer fell here to the 3-8. Shout out to Lee for scooping up. I was going to move up from the 310, and then we would have swapped fourth with, I forgot what he offered me, either his 5th or his 6th. I think his 5th or something like that. It was, he gave me a good offer, but I wanted a little bit more out of him, and he stood his ground. We didn't quite come to an agreement, but I feel like it worked out good for both of us because he was able to get Malik Neighbors here, and then I got Olave, and we don't know, running backs can be kind of hit or die. It's really like Jameer Gibbs, Drake London, then Kyron Williams, Got Blake Corum, Tajay Spears. I really wanted Tajay Spears there in the 11th. Great value. Then he got Diggs and Godwin, some veteran receivers, and just Fields is a third QB to Hurts and Dak. I like that. If Hurts starts, I mean, if Fields gets the start, Q2 with his rush floor, and then Trey McBride took McBride in the figure, just like with Derek's team. Y'all thought about Evan Ingram. He was definitely on my queue. I don't have any tight ends. I thought about maybe Evan Ingram. But good stuff from Derek, man. He's cooking up a squad.
Yeah, he sure is. And shout out to Kidder. I know Romeo Dobbs has a good home.
Yeah, he wanted Romeo Dobbs, Bogey. I remember that. We talked a couple rounds there. Then you name dropped him. I was like, whoa, already? I was like, come on. But
no, here's the thing. Because that conversation was like the list of guys that I had narrowed it down to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like the Rice thing, I couldn't get off that. I was like, and then somebody took Scary Terry right after. And that was who I was kind of considering. Well, not even kind of. I was considering him heavy right there, too.
Facts.
Yeah,
man. I mean, shit. It's good start for Derek, I'd say. Let's move on now to Lee. Shout out to Lee, our resident Chargers fan, always keeping us up to date with all the news. So yeah, shout out to Lee. Joe Burrow starts off with Joe Shiesty, then goes Tyreek the Freak, Jahmyr Gibbs, JJ McCarthy, Dalton Kincaid, Jordan Addison, Jaden there. The third, not bad. Aaron Jones. Second RB, he considering his age, but I mean, he landed in a pretty good spot there. Say Johnson, who I selected there in the 10th. I took, we'll get to that here in a minute, but Lee got Deontay. That was a good pick. Franklin, that was a really good pick. One of the best. He's going to be a giant starting running back. Did well at the Texans last year. Pretty good. You know, Lee's team it just screams solid. Like it's just he's just checking all the boxes he should depth wise. He's building just a very knocking on people's doors for trades, you know, and I respect that. That's what I'm trying to do as well. Just kind of draft a balanced team that can just win right away. I mean, during the season, you'll have injuries where you'll probably have to make a trade or two if you want to win the league. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Just during the draft, I try to be cautious unless I feel like I'm getting a really good value. He is taking a similar approach. I think so far, ended up making a trade, but me, Guccini, Lee, and Derek, us four, we have steered clear of trades. I think we're the only four that have not traded. Tucked into that upper half. So the draft because Lee's team.
You might should click out and click right back in. Spencer, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, you should probably like click out and just click right back in because you're like getting mad matrixy. The Matrix is a wonderful place. I should roll some too. Yeah, man. And man, I can't wait. I'm almost back on the clock. Only probably 16 rounds or something. I got something for them. I got something for them now. I can hear my kids going crazy right now. My son's a savage.
How we are we now?
Yep, straight.
All right, bet. Yeah, let's pull up this board again. My bad, y'all. Yeah, the draft is moving fast now. I feel like tonight, doing the show and stuff, we really lit a fire under everybody. This thing's killing it. We were getting on Sweetness earlier, but even he's been active tonight. So yeah,
Sweetness is a creature of the night. So we are in the night.
Oh yeah, same man. I'm a night owl, so yeah, we're active. We're all a bunch of night owl savages. So yeah, but I know Lee. Lee, I think normally more of a morning person, but he's even up tonight. So shout out to Lee.
Yeah, shout out to Lee. He's right.
And and then Kidda, he's up now. But anyway, I was just saying before I got caught in the matrix, I just seemed very solid, very much the way you'd want. And you don't want to be having people's doors.
I almost
As
want
far
to
as
translate what he's saying. Oh, you're back. Okay, there he is. Yeah.
As far as I broke up again.
Just live. No, you straight now.
Okay. Every time I try to, hopefully I don't major again. Because he's got the.
Kind of like he's auto-tuned now.
What's going on now?
Kind of like your auto-tune now. It kind of sounded tight on that time. I was just letting it go that time. That shit was hard.
All right. No, let me.
You're back now.
That is weird why it does that. This is the third time in a row Tito's laughing his ass off back there. Yeah. This is unbelievable. Yeah, and Steamboat must be right. Yeah, the fantasy guys don't appreciate lack of trading. I guess not, because
and it wasn't that when you guys said steer clear of the trades. I mean, you guys were all getting in the mix.
But that's not my. All right, I'm gonna just type it in the chat. Yeah, it's messed up. They said it. They're saying it's messed up.
You there? Is it me too?
No, you're good. I think it's my audio's fucked.
You straight? You've been straight.
The chat though is saying it's not. Oh no, I am good now. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully, if it messes up again, then I'm convinced there's something with this. Okay, they're saying I'm good now. My point is that the way Lee built his team is that I can't even say it. I feel like I'm in a matrix again. Is that he built his team very well balanced to where he won't have to be knocking on people's doors after the draft as far as wanting to make trades.
Yeah, and he got the swing around pick and then the long wait, like so to speak. You know what I mean? And he's also not so. It's kind of a peculiar spot, right? When you're in like the 5 or you're in the what's the other side, the 8. You know what I mean? Because you're not quite in. You're in the middle, and you're kind of like at the end, or you're kind of in the middle, or you're kind of early. You know what I mean? But you got that swing around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 5's a good spot. Yeah, because I like it. But anyway, let's move on. If I keep looking at Lee's team, it's gonna keep flashbacks to the Matrix. But yeah, shout out to Lito. He's a savage. Good start.
I'm from the Matrix. I actually understood everything you were saying. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you were probably pulling the strings. You were damn it, Bogey.
I was gonna translate it, you know what I
mean? Hell yeah. Guccini, man, the fella, man. Shout out to him. CJ Stroud, Kyler to start off. Then goes Sam Laporta, rips off the TE1. Then Michael Pittman, Rashad White, Matt Stafford, his third QB. Then Pickens, Kupp, Kirk, a strong receiver trio there. Then Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren, and he did rip on DP there. Oh, Carrot Cake, Bobby Okereke.
Is he? Oh, that's a great pick. Is he the one that got the most running backs right now?
No, he's just got 3. Yeah, Rashad White, Javonte, and Jalen Warren.
Yeah, so everybody got like 3. Yeah. Everybody got like 3 right at this point. If they do have 3.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody has 3 because even I have 3, and I waited the last person to take a running back with.
And that's how dynasty startups should be. I ain't gonna lie. Like you know what I mean. Like, and I'm not knocking anyone who takes a running back early because you know what I mean. There's technically no wrong way of doing anything to be honest. But like it's when you consider the shelf life. You know what I mean. It's like for example, Sweetness when he took CMC. The next day, it's almost like he made a phone call because it's like, boom, they extended him. It's like, see? Like, you know what I mean? That's also one thing you worry about running backs too, is their shelf life is a lot of times not just tied to the production. It's their production is tied to them getting paid. You know what I mean? And then, because, you know, you can have one running back at one year, like, remember a couple of years, Michael Carter, people was going crazy. Next year, they draft Brees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Michael Carter. Yeah, it's funny how a running back. Oh, I think he's got potential. He's gonna be my guy 5 years, and poof, they're irrelevant in a year. I'm glad you brought that up to Michael Carter. It's a perfect example of a running back they can just evaporate within the span of a year. I mean, hell, I like Rashad White to a degree, but I didn't really want Rashad White. I feel like his efficiency isn't too good, to where I'm kind of concerned that the Bucs might replace him in the next. Yeah, if he doesn't get more efficient, then they might replace him, bro.
You just need the volume. You know what I mean? Like, you get the volume.
Like, see, Joe Mixon, you look at his career numbers, bro. His average
greasy volume,
bro, but he just gets the greasy ass volume, and he know how to hit pay dirt when he down there in the red zone. So.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I got Zach Moss, because bro, they're gonna that Mixon shit. They're gonna give that to Zach Moss.
Yep.
Everyone's talking Chase Brown, but man, Chase Brown's a compliment, bro. Zach
Names,
Moss is gonna be. Oh, my bad. Because yeah, I know that
we were pretty good. We were pretty good up to that.
Yeah,
and
we were pretty
even
good.
Earlier when he took, before he took Bobby Okereke, Guccini, you know what I'm saying? I remember I was thinking that's who you were gonna take. I was like, oh, he's gonna take Bobby right here.
Yeah, well, Ernest Jones, man. Ernest Jones a little younger.
I like Ernest Jones.
He's a little younger, and I feel like a little more upside, so. But Okereke's very good too.
See, Okereke is I mean, we've seen this motherfucker do it for years. Like even as the number 2 before he went to he was the number 2 getting like 80 solos type shit.
Yeah, with the Darius now Shaq.
When he was with Shaq Darius Leonard.
Yep, and he's still fairly young, 27. Okereke's a legit LB1, I'd say. He probably would have been if Ernest Jones wouldn't have been there, he would have probably been my pick, either him or I'm not going to name names. There's other names. I'm not going to name names. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, that's what it is. See, we got it. I forgot we got the matrix on the settings. We can't say any names. That's why it keeps going. He put you in the matrix every time. Like, you know what I mean?
Don't tell me to put me in it again.
No, just a little bit. Now it's like a little undertones here and there, and it sounds like auto tune. It's kind of tight. I ain't gonna lie to you. But we can understand what you're saying. You good?
All right, bet. Yeah, I might have to get it. This is the mic I had gotten from work. I think it's kind of old, so yeah, I would say probably get a new mic. So my apologies for that. So if I sound like well,
no, it's not the mic. It's the connection. It's pure matrix. You're fine though.
All right, bet. All right, well, matrix or no matrix, we're looking at my team next. Damn it. Spencer the Guru, Generation Guru called this team. So let's go to generational wealth. I hope this team can last me a generation. We started off with Patrick Mahomes, a generational talent. Marvin Harrison Jr., a potential generational talent. And Chris Olave, hopefully a generational talent. And Jalen Waddle, one of the fastest team. And then, hello, ladies. Had to go with Deshaun there at pick 5. Felt like he was a value there. And then Bryce Young, to cover it just in case Watson's shoulder is truly screwed. Then I got a couple there with Swift and Zamir White. Feel like both of them have upside there in the mid rounds, but for this is the early rounds. Then got Max Cross. I got a true DL1. Really excited about to see what he can do. And then Christian Watson, excited for his upside, especially now that he's got his hamstring situation hopefully figured out, seems like. And then Ernest Jones and Zach Moss.
I like it. I mean, it's a solid third. That's probably one of the last starters on paper. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I felt like if I didn't take Zach Moss there, someone was. And sure enough, Lee took Devin Singletary. So,
yeah, we moving and grooving. I like it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Fucking, with a 1,500-yard season is nice, especially. But yeah, no, I'm not shitting on White. It's just that I'm just concerned about his volume.
I mean,
PPR monster. Yeah, if they keep feeding him, I mean, Joe Mixon was a monster there, so we'll see if they keep feeding him.
Yeah, Rashad White. See, that was one of those ones. Like, man, I contemplated him so many times, and I was like, Like even when I took Pacheco, I was like, I'm just gonna go with my guy that I love. Like me and him went through wars together, and I feel like I would be the guy I get Rashad White. Then I'm wrong.
Yeah, I feel like him and Pacheco.
And shit.
Yeah, him and Pacheco are pretty similar. I actually traded Pacheco in the number 14 dynasty. I traded Pacheco away because I needed to get a quarterback there in the rookie draft. I got the 3rd overall pick and got the kid Jaden Daniels, exactly.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels
to go with Justin Herbert. So yeah, because I remember dude was asking, is Herbert on the table? I'm like, hell no. I need a QB2, bro. I can't give up my QB1. Like, fuck that. So then I gave up Derek Carr, Pacheco, and some future picks to get the kid Jaden Daniels.
I liked it.
I feel like that was a good deal there. But yeah, I like this start. I was hoping I mean, I couldn't lie there. I was kind of wanting to get more receiver depth, but I just I couldn't pass on these talents, man. I feel like Zamir White. I mean, I could have.
You got me on that pick too.
I could have had Cooper Kupp. I could have had Debo. I mean, I could have gone receiver there, but I feel like Zamir White's got a lot of upside.
I just feel like Zamir White is the guy. And man, I'm kicking myself in the ass too, because I remember I drafted him in Guccini's dynasty a couple years ago as a single QB, and it's not that deep in the tax season. I remember I had to cut Zamir White at one point, and then he became a thing like 2 years later. You know what I mean? I'm like,
damn, yeah, right now. Yep, Hawkinson just got selected there by Kidda. That was a good pick. Hawkinson, I don't know, man. Coming off that knee injury, that makes me nervous. He ACL and his MCL. Willing to wait it out, that could be a steal. So the latest pick here in the Gen Dynasty, a very good value there in the 12th round. Yeah, I'd say that's a great value. But I felt like Zach Moss was the move because I needed that running back. Let's talk about squad. Tino, he's Aaron Rodgers. He really is the world with Aaron Rodgers. But as we look here, it kind of makes sense because he's building a team that's got some, let's just say, experience, a lot of older players there. Saquon, Devontae, Zay's got some youth, but then Mike Evans. So a lot of veterans here. Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, very veteran heavy. Foyle Lacoon, really like that pick. He's getting a little up in age, but I mean, he's an LB1 surefire. He was the number 1 overall linebacker last year, I believe, led the league in tackles. So Foyle Lacoon, very good pick there. Then Will Anderson, pass rushing up and comer there. Defensive rookie of the year. Then Aiden Hutchinson, Nick Bosa. Yeah, he's got a lot of nasty defensive players. He's really been making a conscious effort to have probably the strongest defense in the league so far. I mean, 4 IDPs already gone. Shout out to Tino.
Oh, Tino's going ham. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I did like it, Derek. I mean, I just I was thinking about him for sure. And then Hawk is 26, so no issue. Yeah, it's just, I mean, when you have the ACL and the MCL, a little concerning. But yeah, for that price point though, kid, that was a bargain. Same for you, Derek, with Ingram. I mean, those were really good values for those tight ends. If Zach Moss hadn't have been there, I'd have probably gone with a tight end there.
Yeah, and like with tight ends, as long as they come back to play, I'm not tripping, because that's the thing about those tight ends. When they become who they become is usually like when they're seasoned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So
rare. Like, I mean, shout out to the McBrides of the world. Hopefully, he can continue to do what he showed us to close the year out last year.
Like,
yeah, because you know what I'm saying, like that'll be another. And obviously Laporta, like that was that was awesome. Fucking tight end one. I've never seen that. That was cool.
Yeah, it's a rookie. It's so insane.
I was hella wrong about him.
Yeah, I was right about him. I got him in the 14 Dynasty and Dynasty League of Influence that I'm in with. Shout out to Justin Fantasy Follow. So I got Laporta in every Dynasty I'm in but this one. So. But anyway, yeah, Tino, that's a solid start. He got a lot of older guys, though, so he better try to win now because they're younger. Steamboat, our last team to discuss here. Steamboat's got Lamar and the kid Jaden. Very good QB start. Then he goes see Breezy Hall and JT. So starting off with QBs and RBs, and then doesn't take a receiver able to the 5th. Tank Xavier Worth back-to-back. Then Man Kelsey. Monty Burns, Calvin Ridley, Ricky Pearsall, and Jamison Williams. Damn it, Steamboat. He was on my queue. I wanted J-Mo, bro. But
I don't know. Close the door, dude. Thank you.
Oh, Joe Laporta might be on the lock. JD ain't too late. All right, bet. We might have to swing a trade then.
Hey, that shit crazy. Man, that one, the Jamison Williams hurt. Love Jamison Williams.
I know. Yeah, I was like, I'll be real. Because I say no names, right? So I didn't name drop him on the stream. He was next up in my queue. When I took Ernest, Jameson's next up on my queue. I really needed to start running back with, bro, if J-Mo falls, I might just have to pull the trigger on J-Mo, but he went. So I was like, all right. In a way, I was kind of glad. So I was like, thanks, Steamboat, for taking the temptation off the board and narrowing down my options. And then at that point, I was like, well, I got to go Zach Moss.
Yeah. Woo. That shit went crazy.
It really did. I mean, yeah, because he's stacking up
on a guy who could finish like, he could finish like a top, I'd say like he could finish like 15, 16 ish if he continues on, because he was on a crazy pace when he really got going. Like,
right.
He just ripped off hella touchdowns. Like, it was crazy. And like now he's just getting further and further from that ACL, because you remember, I think it was like he got it in the national, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's healthy now. He's good. And he had the gambling suspension for 6 games.
Yeah, I must have traded for a gang of Jameson Williams and all the dynasties I'm in.
That was smart. Lie low.
Yeah, because like people they don't care if they just have them. You know what I mean? Like, let me have them. But now the blurbs are. See, now like I'm glad we could talk about him now because he got selected. But the blurbs are too, is that they, you know what I mean? That he's a man on a mission. There was more to it, but I just remember that. I remember that part. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think he'll have a solid year. I think he'll get about 800 from scrimmage and maybe 6 to 8 tugs. I think he'll have a very solid year.
He could rip off a Thou Wow easily. I mean, especially
he could because he might get 100 to 200 rushing and then 700 receiving. Yeah, it would be about a Thou Wow if all goes well. I'm worried with him. I feel like he's a guy that's probably going to miss 2 or 3 games. We're talking about Jameson, right?
Oh yeah.
I just have a feeling he's a guy that I feel like he's just kind of an. He's maybe he'll play all 17, but just so far throughout his career, he just hasn't been very reliable.
I'm usually on the optimistic side, but that's why the price is baked in. You know what I mean? The injury, there he goes. The injury risk is baked into the price. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's why these guys could be a value, or he could be like same thing with I would put like a Christian Watson in the same category, or like a who else has been drafted?
Christian Watson. That's another reason why I was kind of like, I already got Christian Watson. I want Mo too. I feel like they're both very similar. I didn't know if I wanted both of those.
Yeah, but it's funny too because that's another guy I have a ton of, along with Jameson Williams.
Christian Watson. I got Christian Watson in I got it everywhere. I'm in 3 dynasties. I got Christian Watson in every one. And Derek said, I think it was Laporta that finished tight end 1, right? I know Ingram did have a very good year. I think he finished second or third.
He went over 100
Ingram because Hawkinson was on pace to be tight end 1, but he got hurt. So then I think it ended up being, Laporta and Ingram 1, 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me go refill real quick.
All right, bet. Really? Well, maybe in this format, I think in the regular single point PPR, Laporta's 1. But I think Ingram had more receptions. So, but no, Kittle wasn't even close. Kittle did pretty good last year, but he wasn't 1, 2. But I'm telling you, in 1 PPR, in this format, okay, I believe you. Yeah, no, they were very close. But in this format, Ingram was I think the only tight end to have over 100 catches because Kelsey wasn't as good last year. Kelsey didn't have his usual 100 catches. I think Ingram was the only tight end to go over 100. I just feel like he's due for regression. That's why I didn't really want him there, because I felt like, plus I needed a third running back. I don't know. If he catches 100 passes again, I just don't see any way of that happening.
Regrets.
He's a prime regression candidate, but in the 12th round you get him in a value, so I'm not mad at it.
I mean, I'm still mad at myself for because I was down to I'm always gonna do bogey things. I'm going straight to the fraternity, and I'm like, all right, I'm right here, 11-1. It's B Rob the Mob or Nick Bolton, and I ultimately went with Bolton because I like.
He made the right call. Nick Bolton's a 7.
Yeah, I love Nick Bolton.
He's so good, dude. I almost took him instead of Watson. I almost it down. But, yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out, because then I got Ernest Jones. What I could have done, though, I could have got Nick Bolton and Jameson, but instead I got Watson Jones. So, it worked out. It worked out.
It's all in the hands of the fantasy gods now.
And we still got plenty to go. We're 50-round draft because we're some real degens over here. So halfway through, we're not even a quarter of the way through this son of a bitch.
Yeah, what I mean. Let's go.
This shit's crazy because 12 times 4 is 48. Yeah, no, we're not even a quarter of the way through. We still got all to go. We'll have more shows on this draft. Started.
Yeah, hell yeah. You already know.
Yes, sir.
Did we get any motion where we left off on this draft?
Kidda took Hawkinson. We're left off on Smokey's got back-to-back, so I'm guessing he'll pop those off in the AM.
He's going to get nasty right here.
Yeah, he's got back-to-back, so we'll see what he does with those.
See, what's crazy is like I always come up with these bogeyisms, right? And like I did everything I usually like to do, trade back and cram down in the little crevices here and there. You know what I mean? Little patches here and there where I don't initially belong, or even like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And like, and I always seemingly do the same thing where I'm absent in like the 11 and 12 or 13. I'm usually like every time I'm doing one of these, that always happens that way. And I just watch all those wonderful value go off, and I'm just idling by. Like, I mean, I'm not. I don't want to be greedy. I have the same amount of players as everyone right now, and I'm not even in this round.
Buy back in.
Kind of think about it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. A bunch of the players I would have considered buying back in for, they all them flew off.
Facts.
Yeah, they weren't gonna lie. I made a conscious decision once I picked that Nick Bolton. I was like kissing all those guys goodbye. I was willing to pull up anyone right there. Anyone I liked that settled on. You know what I mean? Like had a long list.
Yeah.
We'll see who falls.
For y'all, appreciate everyone that tuned in. It's a good time to put a ball in.
For sure, man. Everybody be sure to check out all the new albums. You know what I'm saying? I dropped the EP called OMW. Check it out. Bogard Scott free OMW. Anywhere you stream your music at, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, etc. You know what I mean? All streaming platforms give me money. And then we just dropped a brand new album a couple days ago, last weekend actually. It's called Bruce Wayne. It's a cool album. Check it out. Shout out to Peacock. We killing it with all these promo vids. I haven't even yet to post the vids for the last album, and the shit's going crazy already. It's just crazy. Shout out to everybody.
Right. Yep, and then the GWN will be popping off soon, the Generational Wealth Network. So that'll be dope. So and my humble opinion will get launched and all that. So yeah, can't wait.
It's the precursor right here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get ready. It's the wave. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So with that being said, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Appreciate y'all once again. Peace out.
Peace.